Okay, today we're going to talk about energy and what it is, how to use it, where it comes from, and etc. etc. Okay, a lot of terms you're going to hear us use over and over again, such as the true self, will, magnetism, gravity, meditation. All these things are going to go back and forth with each other. Now, first, let's talk about where energy comes from. It comes from everywhere. The universe is made up of it. Everything around you is made up of it. We can control it. We can use it. We can harness it. Meditation is basically harnessing and control of energy. And a lot of videos I've been trying to find videos on meditation and how to do it just out of curiosity before I start this channel to see what things I should touch on. And things that I've noticed is nobody's really doing any videos on how to meditate. They're just music. So we're going to go in depth on how to meditate correctly, step by step. But first, let's talk about energy and the things that we can do with it. Let's look at it like this. You have positive energy and you have negative energy. Two opposite sides, just like you have night and day, hate and love. All of these things are opposites. And these opposite energies are what hold basically the universe together. These things colliding make things happen. So I guess there is no such thing as bad energy or negative energy. It's really just opposite of good energy. So to try and make things simple, energy doesn't look like anything. It doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't taste like anything. It just is. It's your adrenaline. It's what gets you up in the morning. So it makes you breathe. All of these things are energy. Some are done by themselves, and some things are done consciously. The things that you think about, such as grabbing a cup or eating. Hey, I want to go do this. All this stuff requires a certain level of energy. So every step you take, every breath, all of this is energy. And a lot of people call it vibes or whatever. When you walk into a room and you say, oh, someone got bad vibes, or you basically feeling the energy or aura, depending on which system or region you're coming from. All of these things are the same thing. A lot of things that we're going to talk about are the same thing, especially in religion and spirituality. All of these things are the exact same thing, just repackaged or renamed depending on where you live or where you come from. So, and it takes a lot of energy to argue about these things. So that's why we're not going to waste our time on it. Energy is very simple, and it's going to be pretty much the driving force behind the Teth system or the Teth internal elevation system. We're going to try and elevate our energy levels, keep them high, especially with the foods we eat. People will start to understand that eating the wrong things give you energy that you don't really necessarily need. I'm going to try not to use the word bad energy. So just for teaching purposes, we will refer to it as negative energy. Although it's not really negative, and you will see why later on in positive energy. It's just depending on how you use these things determines how people relate to them. So if you say, for instance, trying to make somebody's life miserable, that is using negative energy in a bad way. Now, you could take that same energy and say someone upsets you. You could use that energy to focus to be better at the things that you do. So that's one way of using negative energy. And positive energy, of course, is pure joy, happiness, things like that, things that you want to surround yourself with most of the time. The negative side of energy is really used for motivational purposes. I'd have to say things when we want to elevate our physical self, we would use negative energy. If you want to elevate your spiritual self or your true self, then you would use positive energy. So we're going to say that love is the only true emotion that we will focus on. All other emotions, we are going to learn how to suppress all of those energies, such as anger, jealousy, envy, disappointment. All these things, we're going to learn how to suppress them because we really don't need them. They just get in the way. And why is love the only true emotion we should live by? Because love is the only emotion that has, if you want to call it an emotion, love is the only thing that has a duality to it. It's joy on one hand, say when you meet the love of your life for the first time, and it's also the worst feeling in the world, the negative side, when you get your heart broke or when things don't go your way. Say you love to draw and you want to go to art school and you get in an accident and lose both your hands. That is the downside of love, the negative side of it. So these are things that we're going to focus on. Love is where our energy comes from, humans' energy, because we love and hate everything. People hate chicken, people hate steak, but they love potatoes, or they love this, or they love the color red and they hate the color blue. It's all the same thing. It's just that in, I don't know when this happened, but the word hate became that negative side of energy, the other side of it. I mean of love, I'm sorry. So love is a duality. It is where you want to stay. But you don't want to focus on the extreme opposite of these energies. You don't want to focus on too much happiness, or you don't want to focus on too much sorrow. But these two things you need to survive. You need a little bit of chaos in your life in order to survive. So once again, for teaching purposes, when we talk about love, we will say that love is the positive side of love and chaos is the negative side of love, or the opposite side of love, because I don't want to have to keep distinguishing between the two. So that is really the only energy that you always use all the time. Although society has made the word, sound stupid when we use it, because all we think about is relationships, and that is really the one thing that we shouldn't be focusing on, is that side of society, love for one another or love for humanity. These are things that are already inherent in you, and you should just be using them. You shouldn't be focusing on them, because you're once again wasting energy on something that you should be doing naturally. Because in this world that we live in, the negative side rules. The positive side you only see when people help each other or things of this nature, things that we should be doing all the time. We are not a violent race. We have become a violent race. So through that, our negative energy is so abundant in the universe that it is the one thing that you will contend with on a day-to-day basis always. So what you have to remember is the energy inside you is always trying to be drug out of you. And we will be talking about that when we talk about integration and disintegration of energy later on. That's a whole nother topic. But basically, imagine yourself as a ball of energy, and the universe is the opposite or negative side of your positive self. and it is always trying to pull at you. That's why it's easy to get depressed and it's easy to feel sad, because that is all that really surrounds you. So what you want to do is you want to keep your positive or true energy inside, and we will learn how to do that through a lot of meditation techniques on how to keep your positive energy inside so it's not constantly pulled out of you, and it makes you sad, it makes you sleepy and lethargic, and it constantly, I mean, look at people, everybody's walking around with a frown. Why? Because all they can do is think about the bad things in their life when it's really just life. I mean, all you can do is look at nature. uh, Look at the way animals go about their day-to-day life. It's full of killing and people's or animals' babies being ripped away from them. And it is just how life is, because the universe is chaotic. It That's just the way it works. Along with the love side of the universe, it is very chaotic. So you must understand that the things that happen in life aren't bad things. They're just things that happen. They're just the negative side of energy. So energy is the driving force of life. Energy is the driving force of you, and it is the driving force that we will constantly be dealing with. It is how we will tackle the internal elevation system. We will tackle it with energy. So until our next video, I'm not quite sure what it'll be. It'll probably be meditation or something like that. Any questions about energy or things I didn't touch on, I'll probably wind up doing 2 or 3 or 4 more videos on the same thing, because it's a lot of information that we had to go over, so we don't have a lot of time. So we'll just keep rehashing the same things and expanding on certain topics. So until then, see you.